Modern science is a legacy of the biblical worldview, that the doctrine of creation was actually the belief, the underlying presupposition that allowed people to do science. That the pioneers, Galileo, Kepler, Newton, Maxwell, and so on, were believers in God. So I've come over my life to the conclusion that science and the biblical worldview sit very comfortably together, but it's science and atheism that do not sit comfortably together.
Dawkins claimed that any organism that can function in an environment has to be a microcosm of that environment.
What Dawkins is saying actually points in the exact opposite direction to what his worldview is, which is atheism. That we can read off from creation something about the idea of a creator. And it seems to me that where this fits together best is first in the fact that we can do science. There is a rational intelligibility to the universe, which is the foundation of modern science and is a legacy of the biblical worldview. So that the mathematical describability, Einstein talked about, he couldn't imagine any genuine scientist without faith in that. It's the axiom for doing science is to believe the universe is intelligible. But if you ask for the rationale behind that, why do we believe the universe is intelligible? It bears the imprint of a creator. And I see that at the level of mathematics, in its capacity to, at least in part, give us a handle on what's out there. And also in biology, where we have at the heart of every living cell the longest word we've ever found, the genetic code. And all of that leads me to formulate it as follows, that we live in a word-based universe, not simply a product of natural unguided forces. It is a product of a rational, intelligent, not a personal creator. Now, how I get there is only in part from a response to the universe as I find it, the point you made about each organism being a microcosm of its environment. It's also the concept of revelation. It's not simply the human quest for the creator, it's the creator revealing himself. For me, the anchor point in the end is that the Logos became human and we beheld his glory. In other words, we can see exactly what this means in terms of what we can understand. That is the human being in which God encoded himself in Christ.
We are required to explore, investigate, and communicate about everything as deeply as possible. So if you're a scientist, you're actually committed to the truth, right? You put that above all else. And you wouldn't do that if you didn't believe that the logos of commitment establishes the order that is good.
I happen to believe that truth, of course, is not simply propositional truth, but ultimately truth is a person. And that is the very deep claim. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And it's interesting there that Jesus wasn't merely saying, I say true things. This goes much deeper. I am the truth. And if we set up a sequence of questions about anything, what is the truth about the atom? Well, you can split it into elementary particles. What is the truth about those? I believe this claim is so big that it's actually saying that at the end of the backward sequence of questions, Jesus Christ will say, I am the truth. And of course, that resonates with what you were studying in Exodus so interestingly. I am is the fundamental proposition about the nature of God.